strip away the cliches and platitudes for a moment. Forget everything you've read, everything you've been told. The question still lingers. Who are you truly? Not the face you show to the world, not the endless stream of thoughts that race through your mind. Who are you in the silence, in the stillness, when all else falls away? You've spent your life chasing answers outside of yourself, yet the truth you seek has always been closer than your breath. The true self isn't found in the mind. It exists in the space between thoughts. But you've been conditioned to fear that space, to see the silence as a void, an emptiness to be filled with more thinking, more doing, more striving. You mistake the mind's activity for life itself, and in doing so, you miss the profound stillness where your true self resides. Look at your thoughts. They come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. Yet you cling to them as if they define you. A thought arises. I'm not good enough. You believe it without question. Another thought. I need to be more successful. You chase it endlessly. But ask yourself, who is the one aware of these thoughts? Who notices them as they come and go? That awareness, that still and silent witness, is the true self. It doesn't judge. It doesn't cling. It simply is. The space between thoughts is where your true nature is revealed. But this space terrifies you, doesn't it? You've spent your life filling it, afraid of what you might find in the stillness. You've been taught that your thoughts are you, that without them there's nothing. But the reality is far more unsettling and liberating. The absence of thought is not the absence of self. It's the presence of your truest self. A self that exists beyond the stories, beyond the narratives, beyond the endless noise of the mind. But why is this so difficult to grasp? Because your mind is relentless. It doesn't want to be seen for what it is. A tool, a mechanism, a servant. It wants to be the master, and so it keeps you distracted, keeps you tethered to its stories, its fears, its desires. It convinces you that the space between thoughts is meaningless, when in fact, it's the only place where meaning exists. The secret to discovering the true self is not in trying to silence the mind. That's a fool's errand. The mind cannot be silenced by force. The more you try, the louder it becomes. The key is to stop identifying with it, to see thoughts as passing phenomena, like ripples on the surface of a vast, still lake. They come, they go, is your true self, deep, calm, and untouched by the ripples. Begin to notice the gaps, the tiny spaces between one thought and the next. They're always there, but you overlook them because you're so caught up in the content of your mind. These gaps are not empty. They are alive with presence, with the quiet, unshakable awareness that is your essence. The more you rest in these spaces, the more you begin to see that they are not gaps at all. They are the foundation upon which everything else arises. But don't mistake this for a passive state. The true self is not some distant, detached observer. It is fully engaged with life, yet completely free from the turmoil of the mind. When you live from this space, you don't lose your thoughts or your emotions. You gain the freedom to see them clearly, to let them pass without being dragged along. You act, but your actions are no longer driven by fear or desire. They flow effortlessly, like water finding its path. Here's the truth. The search for the true self isn't a journey outward. It's a stripping away, a letting go. The self you've been looking for has been with you all along, hidden beneath the clutter of your thoughts and beliefs. It doesn't need to be created or discovered. It only needs to be remembered. The space between thoughts is not a void. It is the infinite. It is the stillness that holds all things, the silence that gives rise to sound, the presence that has always been there, waiting for you to see. In that space, you are free, not because you've added something to yourself, but because you finally let go of everything you are not. And in that letting go, you find what has always been, the true self, the unshakable awareness